there's different types of destruction that a war can bring. Buildings are destroyed in wars, and often you have the street network remains, and you have maybe piles of rubble on the side. And then when you reconstruct, you have the property lines that maybe were negotiated over generations between families are still there, and the land designation is still there. But the way in which Israel destroyed Gaza was very different. The bulldozers flowed in from across the fences, stabbing the front blade a meter into the ground, driving forward, and everything on their way was ungrounded. There was nothing. It turned the strip into a kind of a moonscape, a kind of a dune area in which every road that were on the way was simply torn apart. The asphalt was torn apart. Whatever was under the road in terms of water or any other infrastructure, sewage, was bleeding onto the subsoil. It was shaving through agricultural area, cutting trees, and then, driving over them with the heavy vehicles, so that no trace remains over the surface. That's the difference between ungrounding and destruction. And also, the Gaza Strip, as you know, is a relatively flat landscape. But the architecture of genocide started to use the rubble that it was created as building material for a new type of architecture. It started creating those artificial dunes and berms, earth berms, that the tractors, the bulldozers were raising. And again, it was a rubble of destroyed buildings very often, and it was very possible that there were people in the buildings, so human remains. Everything that the house was, the concrete, the plaster, the plastic, everything that you have in your kitchen or in your bathroom is, broken together to produce that kind of horrific, devilish kind of mixture that was shaped by the bulldozers into dunes that were drifting wherever the military was going. And the army was piling high berms, high hills for snipers and control towers. It was raising long berms along the military roads it's broken through, the built fabric of Gaza. It was curling, creating enclosures with dunes, with these artificial dunes for its military as staging areas, as military bases. It was, we've seen images of bulldozer digging through the ground, big holes, and using that as detention facilities, putting people, usually men of military age that were severely tortured and interrogated within